With News in 5, I am Clifton James. United States forces have killed 5 more people on board vessels in the Pacific Ocean, bringing the death toll from the Trump administration's military campaign against alleged seaborne drug traffickers to at least 104 since September. The US military's Southern Command, SOUTHCOM, said on Friday that it carried out lethal kinetic strikes on 2 vessels in the Eastern Pacific at the instruction of Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, killing 3 people in one vessel and 2 in another. Thursday's attack by US forces comes one day after a strike on another vessel, also in international waters in the Eastern Pacific, which killed 4 people, SOUTHCOM said. While the US military said the 9 victims of the attacks over 2 days were male narco-terrorists, Washington has provided no proof that the almost 30 vessels destroyed since September in the Pacific and Caribbean, resulting in more than 100 dead, were involved in drug trafficking. Defense Secretary Hegseth is also under intense scrutiny for reportedly ordering a second strike on survivors who clung to floating boat debris after an early attack on a vessel. Attacking shipwreck survivors is considered a war crime, according to legal experts. The United States Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff will hold talks in Miami, Florida, with senior officials from Qatar, Egypt and Turkey as efforts continue to advance the next phase of the Gaza ceasefire, even as Israel repeatedly violates the truce on the ground. A White House official told Al Jazeera Arabic on Friday that Witkoff is set to meet representatives from the 3 countries to discuss the future of the agreement aimed at halting Israel's genocidal war on Gaza. More than 84,000 people have fled to Burundi from the Eastern Democratic of the Congo (DRC) amid a Rwanda-backed rebel offensive near the country's shared border, according to the latest United Nations figures. The UN refugee agency UNHCR said on Friday that Burundi had reached a critical point amid the influx of refugees and asylum seekers fleeing a surge in violence in the DRC's South Kivu province. Demonstrators gathered throughout Bangladesh for a second consecutive day, demanding justice for Sharif Osman Hadi, a prominent figure in last year's pro-democracy movement, who died Thursday in a Singapore hospital after being shot by masked men. The 32-year-old student leader, an outspoken critic of India, was attacked while exiting a mosque in Dhaka last week. As news of his death spread, mourning quickly transformed into public outrage on Friday. Several buildings were vandalized, including offices of media organizations perceived as sympathetic to India, the long-time ally of Bangladesh's recently overthrown leadership. Former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, currently in exile in India, was recently sentenced to death in absentia over last year's deadly crackdown against a student-led uprising. Deep cuts to foreign aid by United States President Donald Trump this year, coupled with reductions from other donor countries, have forced the closure of thousands of schools and youth centres in Rohingya refugee camps in Bangladesh, devastating critical child protection programmes. The consequences are dire. Girls forced into marriage, children as young as 10 pushed into hard labour, and some girls as young as 12 coerced into prostitution. While the US State Department reports providing more than $168 million in aid to the Rohingya since Trump took office, citing improved efficiency and shared donor responsibility, the reality on the ground remains catastrophic. In rare moments of solitude, between beatings from her husband, 17-year-old Hasina weeps for the school that once offered her sanctuary in an otherwise merciless world. You're up to date with News in 5. I am Clifton James.